throughout the neighborhood, you can find pieces of construction material that have actually blown through the area. Some folks already coming outside of their home trying to clean up their yard. Today's meeting, the Packers stressed that their biggest priority is trying to do everything they can to make sure the fan experience at Lambeau Field is excellent. And that's because they are battling the quality of the TV broadcast of the NFL. They want to make sure Packers fans would always rather be on a Lambeau Field bench than at home on their couch. Democratic senators are pleading with the Republican majority for help in making changes to the budget.
Hey, Patrick, what are you hearing? There was just a status update.
Well, Don, we just got done with a press conference, and it's been such an exhausting couple days for folks living here in Colorado Springs, about an hour south of Denver. You can see what's happened to their mountain backdrop, just all sorts of smoke up there. About 11,000 people, as you mentioned, have been evacuated in and around the Colorado Springs area. Let's just come over here to the map right now. I just want to give people a reference that are looking at the map. So this is the Mountain Shadows area. This is a new area of growth that we've seen. Look at just how big the plume of smoke has become above this area of Colorado. Just incredible area. But you can see where they came in here and took out all of this. Witnesses saying that just inside of that movie theater, folks were screaming, running out of the theater, blood on their shirts, blood on their face. Folks were being laid down on the sidewalk, waiting for first responders to get there.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. A bizarre situation in North Fond du Lac at this Village Community Center involving a roofing job that was never supposed to happen.
Investigators believe a crew started replacing the roof of the community center, but then realized they were in the wrong location. Then they just took off. Tonight, they want to know who did it and why. Patrick Nelson has more on the mess left behind and what the Village of North Fond du Lac is doing to fix the building now.
The view from the street here in North Fond du Lac gives the impression that their community center is open and ready to host an event. But the backside of this building tells a much different story, as pieces of the roof were ripped off and left on these tarps, and the Village of North Fond du Lac wants to know who did this to their community center.
Somebody came, started a roofing job to tear the roof off, realized they were at the wrong location and just left.
Witnesses say a crew of at least 3 men tore shingles off the building on Labor Day before abandoning the mess. Because parts of the roof were missing on the backside of the building, it went unnoticed for more than a week. That's until a storm moved in Saturday and the roof began to leak, ruining a baptism celebration being held inside.
It's probably a third of the backside of the roof, so it's a fair amount, but yet the damage or the amount of effort to take to fix that would be far less than the damage that occurred because of them just walking away.
Missing shingles and moisture trapped in the insulation of the vaulted ceiling have village leaders expecting thousands of dollars in repair bills. The village administrator is asking for help from the roofing crew who made the mistake.
Come forward. Again, we're not looking to do any criminal damage. We know it was an honest mistake, maybe a little poor judgment of not admitting to it and fixing the roof that was torn off a little quicker in the process, but we're just looking for a solution here.
The Village of North Fond du Lac says insurance will help cover the cost of fixing the roof of the community center. Patrick Nelson, Action 2 News. It's 6:30 on Saturday morning on southbound Highway 41 near Shearing Road. Cars stopped in the middle of the highway, not for an accident, but to rescue baby geese stuck between cement construction barricades.
This dude's getting a workout running down the highway.
This bold rescue attempt goes on for over 3 minutes as drivers get out of their cars to get all of the baby geese out of the road without being hit by traffic racing up behind them. This video uploaded on YouTube on Saturday has just over 30 views. Not many people have even seen it yet, so we took it to law enforcement to get their take.
That's northeast Wisconsin. We can't help it. It's not uncommon for law enforcement to have to do traffic control at a stalled vehicle because there's so many people stopping to help.
Captain Schultz couldn't believe his eyes. He still can't believe this rescue attempt didn't end in tragedy.
You got to respect the fact that the folks don't want to see these goslings get injured, but there's way too much at stake under that circumstance. And I'm sure you talk to any first responders and any public safety officials, that makes the hair stand up on the back of their neck when they're seeing that going on.
The rescue attempt happened in a construction zone without a roadside shoulder. Sergeant John Jones with the Wisconsin State Patrol says these drivers put their lives at risk.
I tell you, you don't want to put your life on the line, let alone your family, for an animal that's something like that, a lot of people could have got killed on that.
This story doesn't end in tragedy. Animals were saved and nobody hurt. But in the future, law enforcement says leave it to the professionals. Patrick Nelson, Action 2 News, Brown County. The RV that was crushed by the cement counterweight of the Michigan Street drawbridge Sunday now sits in a lot in Sturgeon Bay. The owner taking one last look before returning to his Florida home.
He said that he was in stop and go traffic on the bridge, and when the bridge alarms and started going off, he was in a position where he could not move at all.
The bridge operator opened the bridge and the RV's front end was crushed. The person responsible for opening and closing the Michigan Street Bridge doesn't actually work on that bridge. Instead, they work inside a tower across the way, and they do it remotely. The county made the move to a remote operator 3 years ago to cut costs.
It eliminates actually 4 full-time positions, and it's a significant savings over probably about $250,000 a year to the taxpayers by having it run remotely.
There is a bridge operator tower on the Michigan Street Bridge located right where the accident happened. The highway department says having someone there would have made a difference Sunday.
There's no question they would have had a better vantage point. They would have looked out the window and saw a vehicle parked in front of it because it occurred right in front of that thing.
Now, officials say the extra traffic on the Michigan Street Bridge from the Highway 42 detour contributed to that accident. Right now, the bridge operator is on administrative leave as police continue their investigation. Reporting live in the newsroom, Patrick Nelson, Action 2 News.